Jud Logan always implored his student athletes at Ashland University to find their light giver. Someone who can shine a brighter light on you than you can shine on yourself. Logan's athletes will tell you he was their light giver. Logan was an elite athlete who became an elite coach. A four-time Olympian, he tapped into his experiences competing on the world's biggest stage to guide his programs to success. A stickler for technique, Logan also led by example. He made his fourth Olympic team in the hammer throw in 2004 while serving as an assistant coach at Ashland. By then, he had already mentored athletes to 23 NCAA Division II titles in throwing events. Logan also led by his words, motivating his programs to even higher peaks after he assumed the head coaching reins at Ashland the following year. With Logan at the helm of the program, the Ashland men swept the Division II indoor and outdoor national team titles in 2019 and were national champions indoors again in 2021. Eagles athletes claimed a total of 77 individual national titles under his mentorship, while they excelled in the classroom too. Logan's programs were named USTFCCCA Scholar Teams of the Year 7 times. Today, the Ashland University Jud Logan Light Giver Collegiate Open is held in his honor as a testament to the man whose light shined brightly on collegiate track and field. Tonight, the spotlight is on Jud Logan's legacy as he enters the Hall of Fame.
So glad you're here, and so glad this is happening for you guys tonight. And yeah, it's hard not to be emotional for those of us who knew him and had a chance to be around him. And the hammer throw circuit always came through Eugene, and it was always him front and center. Where do we start with just kind of what a huge force he was, both in the lives of his student athletes, but just what he was able to accomplish in his time?
Yeah, I mean, being here this week and seeing so many of his former athletes, his coaching tree that has now expanded across the country from athletes that were at Ashland under his tutelage to now leading their own programs. I mean, that really was his legacy and continues to be his legacy. You're right, it is emotional. I wish I wasn't up here.
You and me both.
I wish
on the heels of us visiting a little bit this afternoon, I reached out to Katie Moon, who I know really well, and got on the phone with her for just about 10, 15 minutes today. And I said, how do you, as an athlete, kind of put it in perspective of what he meant? And one of the things that struck me in the conversation was that he had an amazing presence, that when he would walk into the field house, she said she could feel the mood change with the athletes having him in the building. Can you understand what she's saying there, and maybe you kind of expand on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, he's dad, right?
Yeah.
So but when I see him walk into a field house at a track meet, I mean, he commands attention. And that came from his father, who was always the biggest man in the room when he walked in, and he just continued that. And it's so great to see everyone here again this week and get reminders of just how special he was.
Yeah, and she also remarked it was impressive to her that he had built such credibility across event groups, right? Here's a guy who's got, his name is sort of cemented around a specific event, and he's cheering on pole vaulters and getting the Trevor Bassetts of the world all the way to, to major global championships. Do you think there was sort of an innate ability for him to get outside of his comfort zone and try to learn and employ those same tools that got him to the best part of his professional career, but did it in different events?
Yeah, I mean, even before a coach, he was a teacher and he was a leader of men and women. He had an innate ability to connect on a personal level to so many. And, I never minded sharing him with his kids, because every athlete that he coached, he was a parent to them. And whether it was the technique or not, in the throws, and in all the other events like you mentioned, he built a culture, and that's really what carried the team to those national championships and those Ashland athletes on to greater heights.
Was it, you said, he was dad first, but you had to kind of share him with the rest of the team. Was that hard for you, or was it a sense of pride to see him be able to do what he did with those other folks?
No, it wasn't hard. From a young age, he was coaching me through Pee Wee football all the way up through my senior year, winning the decathlon at my conference championships at Ashland. So I've seen it my whole life, and I've seen his ability to to affect others and be that light that shines greater than what they can see for themselves, which is something he felt really strongly about, was being a light giver. So I wanted to see that happen to as many people as possible.
And maybe for those who never had a chance to meet Jud, and you're thinking about his legacy, and obviously this Hall of Fame thing, just one piece of a bigger, puzzle that made him such a remarkable person. What are the things that you'd want people to sort of truly appreciate and understand here tonight?
Like I mentioned, there is a bigger picture for each and every one of you. I never had the trait to be a coach. I was always jealous of it. I know everybody in this room who's a coach shares that trait, and it's special. It takes a special type of person to pour that amount of effort into athletes and to see the end result. And that was really the process that he loved, not just on an athletic level, an academic level, but a personal level as well. And to see that was really special. So that's the type of person he was, and that's the type of person that, me and my family would like him to be remembered as.
And the university really trying to, keep that legacy alive. We saw the naming of the meet, but just, his spirit is alive and well at Ashland.
Absolutely. He's still big man on campus. He's, you walk around and everybody knows Jud. And I am an AU graduate myself. I met my wife there. And it's cool to see that AU has continued to honor him and elevate his legacy through the meet and different opportunities that we've had. It's great to see so many former of my teammates, so many of the AU current coaching staff that made the trip down here, especially for this event, to help honor my dad, and I greatly appreciate that.
And on behalf of your dad, just who would he want to be thanking tonight?
My mom, Jill, his wife of over 40 years, is here with us, and she was really the rock that allowed him to not only compete through his Olympic career and traveling to over 100 countries as a hammer thrower in his 20-plus year athletic career, but also fed the athletes on Sundays and was able to allow him to be who he was and kind of always stayed in the background, but was the most important part of his journey, and he would tell you that too.
Yeah. Well, it's just such a great, for me personally, just great to be part of this particular night and this particular person. And I know, for your family, I know this must be both a proud but also a hard day. And I appreciate you, kind of giving us your time and sharing that story. And I think for those who don't know, Jud's story, I encourage you to go reach out to him. And if you're ever in an opportunity, as I was with, I think Trevor Bassett and I were stuck in a United Club room on our way back from Budapest, and we just started talking about Jud, and those people who are connected to him just espouse all the things that I think he instilled in those kids and are going to be a fitting and lasting legacy to him. So congratulations to you and your family. So.
Thank you.